So, somebody said they had some questions, so let's deal with questions. All right, and tell me where we're at and which one I can go over with you.
Okay, 1-5.
Is this the one?
Okay, 1-5.
All right, with what?
I am on number
7? All right, did you understand this symbol?
not
That means perpendicular.
Okay.
All right, and so that means just that the angle adds, or it forms a right angle, which is 9 degrees.
Right.
You good with that now? So it'd just be 5x plus 10 equals 9. Yes.
I found 1-6 over there.
Yep. No, yeah, we did that yesterday.
1-6 number.
This right here, right?
Well, I just had a question. Like on number 5, do you want us to like add in pi?
I said always leave your answer in terms of pi.
So like 13.
What do you want the answer to? Number 5? Number 5, the circumference would be 14 pi. And the area would be 49 pi. And then you don't forget to put it in units. All right, now on the review tomorrow, what I did was the answers are in terms of pi, multiple choice, or they might be in terms of a decimal. If it's in terms of a decimal, then you got to multiply the pi out. All right, I want you to know the difference. For me personally, anytime you're dealing with pi, you leave your answer in terms of pi. They don't do that in this book. That's one thing I disagree with them. All right, leave everything in terms of pi. You never round in math. What? This one right here? Right here?
Yeah.
So identify the figure, then find the perimeter and area. Is that good? Well, perimeter would just be finding the distance formula 3 times, but let me come down here now real quick. All right? And then what I'm just going to ask of you is for you to tell me what those coordinates are. And again, this is how I really think you should do it. Personally, I think plotting the points is easier. And on the test, I think what I do is I add graph paper if you want it. And then if you don't want graph paper, you can just use the formula. I personally like the graph paper because I'm just better at that. All right? Go ahead.
0,
All right, so let me, hold on, 0, 0. Let me get this real quick. Sorry. 0, 0. 8, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0, and then
3 -2.
so 1, 2, 3, like this, correct?
Yep.
All right, and then to me, I would just draw that out. And plus, I think it would be a nice thing to do. The first one is obvious, right? This is 8. Now, what I want to do now is, I think this is the critical point that I think makes a difference, is trying to draw the right triangle so you can see it clearly. All right? So what I want to do now is, believe it or not, I'm just going to throw that out of the way because I don't need that. So I want to make this a different color just to make sure you can see. From here, make sure it's right. I'm going from here, and then I'm going from here. You agree with that? So now I can just look at that and say that's 2 and that's 3, which makes that the square root of 13. See how that is? 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 plus 9, 13. Yeah, I always say make a right triangle. All right. And to me, do you agree? That's just it's not necessary, but to me, I just think it's easier. Some people don't like it because they just don't like plotting points and doing that, but I just think it's visually easier to see. So this here is 2, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Square root of what? 29. So I would want you to say the perimeter is 8 plus the square root of 13 plus the square root of 29. That'd be the exact answer. Yeah, on the exam they might have the decimal answer. You with me? I don't care about that. Yes.
Do I open up a classroom?
This is the work we did last night. What?
And then what's type of error? I looked up online.
Okay. No. Look, here's the easy way to do so what I'm going to do now is just because I want you to see it better. All right, I'm going to go back here. Here. Now, once you've identified the triangle, remember the formula for area of a triangle, area equals 1/2 base times height, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to identify the base. And of course, we would say just for now, this right here is the base. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So the base is 8. And now, to find the height, it's always the perpendicular distance from a vertex. So that would be 2. Does that make sense now? Right? Now, this right here, heads up please, just to make sure. This is a base 2, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But finding that perpendicular distance will be much more difficult. Alright? Much more difficult. Alright, I like that explanation. Go.
On page 10, can you do something?
I need like, what
Like
section?
one dash what?
Yeah, one,
We used to get
Alright, we just did 8. Alright, I mean, that was 8. So now, we're going to do 7, right? Alright, I don't mind helping you out with 7. So it's the same principle right here. So I'm just going to draw out an X and Y axis real quick. Again, I just think it's easier. And then someone want to read me? Go ahead. The coordinates. 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, -4. Oh, come on, man. That wasn't hard, right? See what I'm saying?
yeah.
Right. Now, do you understand why I think it's easier, in my opinion, I think it's easier to draw it out on graph paper, right? But it's definitely not necessary. All right. You can clearly see it's a rectangle. And then the perimeter, we don't have to go any further, right? Perimeter, there's no distance formula or anything here. It's just looking and seeing what it is. All right, and the area is length times width. All right, so that's not a big deal. All right, anybody else on that? Anybody else?
Okay, easy one.
Which one?
Okay. On 1-5, it's number 12.
All right, let's do number 12. All right, it says, Darren sketched a map of the cross streets nearest to his home for his friend Miguel. Describe 2 different angle relationships between the streets. Well, you could say that Beacon and Main are perpendicular to each other, right? Right? They form a right angle when they intersect, right? And that's a very good observation, too. You could say, well, describe 2 different angle relationships. Yeah, you could say, I wouldn't mind you saying that they were adjacent. Main is adjacent to Olive, or Olive is adjacent to Beacon, right? But that's kind of a silly question, so don't worry about that. Anybody else have any other questions with that?
Yeah.
I'm listening.
1-5,
Well, we did number 5, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right. So I do like number 6 because I think it's a little harder. All right. If the supplement of an angle, okay, so now this one is, I think, on the test, and most people miss it. All right. So we're talking about 2 different angles. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, what makes this easy is if you know that. So the first angle and the what? The second angle, right? The first angle and the second angle. All right? So the first angle, do we know what the first angle is?
No.
X, right? So then, not x minus 180, but,
No, X minus 70.
no. What's this? No. What is it? No. Terrible. Say it? No. Listen to me now, guys. This is why this one's hard.
For any minus x.
Yes. That's the hard part, guys. We're talking about two angles, and they're supplementary, right? So one has to be x, and the other has to be what? 180 what? Minus x. So that's how you define the two angles. Now, once you define the two angles, now you go on and read the question. All right, so let me see if you understand what I mean. So if a supplement of an angle, all right, so the supplement of the angle would have been what? 180 minus x, right? Has a measure, which means equals 78 less than the measure of the angle. That's kind of tricky, guys. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
Right? So the relationship between the two is x and 180 minus x. And then you're simply comparing. It says the supplement of the angle is 78 less than the angle itself. Right? So you should be able to do that. So 2x equals 258. So x was equal to 129. Right? And so if x was equal to 129, the supplement would be what? 51. Everybody happy with that? Any questions? All right. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah. Oh, that's because I'm dumb. Because I wrote 128 and I was thinking, I wrote I said 129, but I wrote 128. Thank you, that was good catch. The answer was 129. I just actually wrote 128. All right. I think that's it for this, correct? All right. Which I think I said earlier something about reviewing, but I think I got my days mixed up. So we're reviewing today and what? Tomorrow, right? Go on to your Google Classroom and see if I put the review up there. I'm pretty sure it's there, right? So download the chapter review. All right. All right. And I just want you to go ahead and work on that today. Does that sound good now? All right. Then tomorrow we'll come with all of the answers, and I will work whatever you need tomorrow. I also want to remind you to flip down the page, right? When you go down to the very bottom of the page, all of the what? All the answers are there, guys. All right, so you know how to do everything. All right, you most definitely know how to do everything.